everybody. It's a beautiful day to do yoga. Every day is a beautiful day. And let's go ahead and just go right into it. If you have a regular yoga practice, then you're probably good to go. But if this is your first time, or if you're new and you're tight in your hips, if your legs are sitting up like this as you're sitting in this way, then you might want to have a blanket or a couple of yoga blocks, and you can just sit on your yoga blocks or pillows or whatever you have, and that raises up your hips so that your legs can relax a little bit. So even your legs may still be up, that's okay, but you just kind of want to feel a little bit loose and relaxed in your legs and your lower back. Let's go ahead and focus for just a minute or two on our breathing. So close your eyes and just breathe naturally through your nose if you can. The reason we breathe through our nose is because it actually lets us pay more attention to our breath. It's usually a little bit harder to breathe through your nose than it is through your mouth. And so that way, as you're doing yoga, you can focus more easily on your actual breathing. So also as you're breathing, just take a moment to check out any places that might be tight. For me, it's always my shoulders. So I have to actively relax my shoulders, lengthening the neck at the same time. For a lot of people, it might be that little space right between your eyes. A lot of people, even when they sit like this, even when they feel like they're relaxed, they're squinting a little bit. So see if you can relax your forehead and relax that space between your eyes. And the other place that people often will feel some kind of clenching, even when they're relaxed, is in their mouth. So see if you can, while keeping your lips closed, also just let your jaw relax a little bit. And then let's begin to focus on our posture. So when we sit in yoga, it is relaxing, but it's also just a little bit of work. And so what you do is you want to press into the ground or press into your blocks with your bottom. And at the same time, you're kind of lengthening your rib cage and your neck upwards. This is sometimes, it'll give you a little bit of a light feeling, because at the same time that you're pressing into the ground, your energy is just kind of reaching upwards. Also, go ahead and drag your shoulders back just a little bit. That opens your chest, makes it a little bit easier to breathe. And relax your stomach. By relaxing your stomach, you actually make it a little bit easier to breathe deeper. We'll talk about that just in a minute or two. Okay, so just take a couple breaths here. And feel how as you inhale, your body rises up, your chest expands. And as you exhale, everything just kind of drops downwards. Just 2 more breaths. Okay, so I'm going to do these next couple poses sitting on a block, just so you, those of you who are sitting on blocks, can see how it's done. If you're sitting on the floor, I think it will be a little bit easier for you. Let's bring our hands into a prayer position, lengthening your spine, and then as you exhale, you lace your fingers and you reach your hands forward. For me, I always have a little crack, crack, crack of my knuckles. You might have the same. As you inhale, bend your elbows and reach your hands up and forward in front of your face. You're kind of reaching, and so you're going to feel a lovely kind of extension, like an expansion of the back. and relaxing down. Let's do that again. Exhale and lace the fingers, reaching your hands forward. So in this case, many of you might be doing this, okay? So be careful. Make sure that your shoulders are kind of pushing down and you're not so much here, but you're maybe pressing in front of the rib cage a little bit. And then bending your elbows, bringing your hands up and in front. So you're welcome to do it like this, which is about, the width of your shoulders. If you can do this, this is even better because you'll feel just a little bit more of that expansion in the upper back. And relax. Okay, we're gonna bend forward at the hips. In yoga, you hear this a lot. And what that means is you actually are lengthening your spine at the same time that you're dropping forward. So your belly button and your stomach is actually going to be dropping down before your head and chest. So for a lot of people, let's come on back up on an inhale. We're going to do that again. For a lot of people, you really want to go forward. You'll see other people, you'll see me, kind of lengthening forward like this. But you may not have that flexibility. And so instead what you do is you bend like this. And go ahead and come back up. So, and that's true for those of you who are sitting on the floor as well. Let's do that again. Let's cross our legs to the other, so that the other leg is in the front. And we're going to do that 2 times. So, as you inhale, you lengthen. And you don't bend here. Okay, so you think about your stomach coming down at the same time that you're reaching your chest forward. Okay, and then you find that place where you can't do that anymore, and you just stay there. All right? For me, maybe for some others, you can come down a little bit farther. And then as you inhale, come back to your seated position. You can drag your hands on the floor. I'm going to show you how to do that with the block. So for those of you who are on the block, it's exactly the same thing. So you lengthen the spine and you come forward. Now for those on the block, you might find your bottom coming up. Don't do that, okay? Keep your bottom on your block or on your blanket. And just, that means like maybe you can only come to this point. That's okay. Okay, if you can, come down a little bit farther. Maybe you can bring your chest down a little bit more as well as your stomach. And then as you inhale, now you can round your back and come back to your seated position. So what happens is, when we do this, our lower back sometimes prevents us from really coming forward. Or it could also be the joint. But we want to get all the way down to the floor. And so what we do is, instead of bending here, we bend here. And when you're bending here, you can feel it. Give it a try. Everybody, just bend here and slouch. You can feel this part of your stomach being kind of clenched. That's your diaphragm. And actually, there are poses that you'll do where you bend over like this and you will get like a cramp in that diaphragm. It will become very difficult to breathe. And so that's why, one reason why, in yoga, we're always talking about lengthening the spine at the same time that you're bending forward. And you'll hear that being spoken of as bending from the hips. All right. So we've done that 2 times on each leg. Let's go ahead and lengthen the legs and shake them out. And come onto all fours. As you inhale, you're going to bring your tailbone up, press into the ground with your hands, reach the top of your head up to the sky, and take that belly button and push it forward, like between your hands. And then as you exhale, you're going to go in the opposite. Your belly button comes up, your head and your tailbone come down, but you're still pressing into the ground with your hands. One more of those, okay? Inhale and drop your stomach, bring your chest up and forward. And then exhale, round and then inhale. Walk your hands forward just a little bit and bring your right leg just behind the right hand. We're going to do a lovely stretch here. So as you exhale, you're going to bend that right leg as much as you can. So just this alone, you should already be feeling a really nice stretch in the Achilles tendon, maybe in the bottom of your foot and in your calf. This is just a little warm up. Let's go ahead and come back. Let's do the other side. So you're going to exhale and bring the left hand forward just behind the left foot forward behind the left hand. And go ahead and bend as much as you can. Take a couple breaths. Enjoy that stretch and come back. Now in yoga, you'll very often hear someone say that when you bend your knee, you want your knee to be over your ankle or over your foot, but not hanging in front of your toes, and that's absolutely true. But for this particular pose, we're going to do the opposite of what you've regularly heard. So let's come again and into that position. So bring your right foot just behind your right hand, okay? And once again, go ahead and bend that right knee. Now, here's where we're going to talk a little bit about your positioning, because for a lot of people, believe it or not, this is actually hard. If you sit a lot, if you run a lot, I mean, there's a lot of things in our lives where the result of that activity or lack of activity manifests in our calf and in our Achilles tendon. So we'll have crazy, crazy, crazy tight calves. And so for some people, when they do this, their bottom will come out to the side, and maybe their knee will come in like this, or maybe their foot will be in one direction and their knee will be in the other direction. So I want you to think about your own particular way of doing this. Your toes should be pointing forward, and your knee, when it bends, should be pointing in the same direction as your toes. Now, for some people, you might just find that that alone is already going to make it a little bit of a deeper stretch. But the other thing that you need to look for is your bum. Your bum should be directly behind your knee. Okay, so you really just want like a straight line in this direction. Let's go ahead and try that on the other side. Exhale and bring the left leg forward. Go ahead and bend. Okay, so your left knee is bent, and it can be over your toes. In fact, it probably should be over your toes to some degree. Your left heel, it's okay for that to come up. Okay, check your posture. Okay, are you twisted in some way? See if you can, and you can adjust your right leg accordingly as well. Like you might find if your right leg is really far back, it's harder for you to move into getting this into a straight line. So, maybe bring that front knee or that back knee up. Now we've been in this for a couple of seconds now, so you might actually find that, as we're doing this longer and longer, that muscle starts to loosen up a little bit. In Yin Yoga, we tend to do this pose for about 5 minutes, and boy, by the end of it, you're just amazed at how long your muscle becomes. Okay, let's try that one more time, okay? We're gonna make it a little bit more difficult for those who can do it. So take that right leg forward and bend it, okay? Check your alignment, make sure you're not twisted, and if you can, bring your chest up. So see if you can just bring all the weight of your body over that knee. This intensifies the stretch. See if you can maybe bring that left leg back a little bit and put the heel on the ground and still maintain that stretch in your calf. Okay, just a couple more breaths here. For some people, you may prefer to have your heel up and just kind of reach the heel down. That will, let's go ahead and come out of that. And try the other side. The left leg comes forward, bend that knee, okay? And you can either walk the right leg back to put the heel on the ground, or have your heel up. And then see if you can bring your weight over that leg. If not, just stay in this position, that's fine. I mean, if you're feeling it here, that's fine, okay? I see that my right side is much easier to do than the left side. I feel it a lot more on my left side right now. Check your alignment, make sure this knee is not twisting, it's pointing in the same direction as the toes. Okay, let's go ahead and come out. So you should feel pretty good right now in your lower legs. Let's go ahead and see if we can move that stretch. So now bring your right knee to behind your right wrist and stretch that left leg back. And now we're going to see if you can bring your weight over that right leg. So you can put your hands on the ground, okay? You can lean forward if you need to. But what we're doing now is we're stretching the front of your left pelvis. We're going to stay here for just a couple of breaths. This is the first time we're doing it, so you know, if it's really tight, just lean forward and just bring your chest up as much as you can. Find a comfortable stretch. Maybe take 2 more breaths here. Okay, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So this time you're going to take your left leg and just bring the knee behind your wrist and then stretch the right leg back a little bit, okay? So that the right side is parallel to the floor, and then just bring your body up as much as you can. Okay, you're welcome to bring your hands to your thigh. If you're really loose here, you can push against the thigh to lengthen the spine a little bit, or you can just relax and just enjoy the stretch. Couple breaths. The other thing here is, maybe balance is an issue. So again, don't have any shame in putting your hands to the ground and just focusing on that stretch. Okay, let's try that again on the other side. I'll do it this way. So your right knee comes forward behind your wrist. Your left knee is going to come back. Okay, you're going to shift your weight a little bit over to the right. If you can, you can also just do it like this. Okay, and this time, see if you can take your stomach and pull your stomach back a little bit. Now, if you're feeling this in your lower back, if you're feeling too much of a clenching in your lower back, just adjust, okay? Bring your hands forward, because chances are you're still feeling it here and in the inner thigh. And if you want, like what I like, okay, let's just do the other side and then I'll do it on the third way. Let's bring the left leg forward and stretch the right leg back. Bring your chest up. Okay, just here is fine, or like this. Couple breaths. I just love this stretch, and for this one, it doesn't matter whether you are an athlete or whether you only go for a walk every day or whether you sit at your office most of the time and don't get a lot of exercise. This just feels so good. You're going to feel it in different places depending on what your activity level is. Okay, last one of these. So, bring your right leg forward, okay? But take your left knee back a little bit and lift your left leg up. Lift just the knee up so that only the toes are on the ground. And this time, you're going to take the right foot and you're just going to walk it as much as you can over to the left. Don't use your hand, okay? So you probably want to have that up near your hand. So a lot of people want to do this, okay? You're not ready for that. So just let your leg determine how much you're ready. So you just walk it forward as much as you can, okay? Just here is fine. And then you drop the knee, the left knee, and we do the same thing. You bring your chest up. So what we're doing now is we're moving a little bit of the focus for this. This is called pigeon pose. And so we're still focusing on this area, but because our knee is angled a little bit, if you can drop your bottom down just a little bit, you're going to feel it in the right buttocks as well. Okay, so you're going to be feeling it right in here. Take a couple more breaths. If there is any pain in the right knee, any pain in your lower back, adjust. If there's pain in your right knee, you just come out of the pose, come like this, and then maybe try it just by moving around a little bit. Okay? For those of you who want to, you can come down in that bending from the hips. So you're taking your belly button and just dropping it down. Bring your elbows to the floor and just stay here for 3 breaths. Okay? This is now focusing on the right side of your hip and your bottom. And if it's painful, just come out of the pose. Maybe try one of the other videos that are easier to do. Maybe loosen up that area a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to sit. Bring your legs forward. Sit in what's called Sukhasana. Take a deep breath. And let's do that on the other side. So we have already done 2 of the prep poses for this. So now go ahead and bring the left leg forward and just bring that left leg, the left ankle as much as you can towards the right wrist. Okay, just like this is okay too. Bring that right leg back and let's go ahead and just focus on this. Go ahead and bring your chest up. So you're going to be feeling it now in the right side, in the front of the pelvis, and in the left, the outside of the left leg and the left buttocks. Okay, relax your shoulders. This is a hard pose, and you might be finding that you're clenching your teeth. You might be finding that your shoulders are up. So just do a little body check and see how things are going. And then let's go ahead and walk your hands forward, bending from your hips. So your belly drops down, but your chest reaches forward. And if you can, just drop your pelvis down a little bit as well. Now for a lot of people, this is really hard, and you might not even be able to get your bottom down that far. Your bottom might be up here. That's okay. You know, like just use here you can use a block if you want. You know, you can actually sit on the block if you want, or you could just, you know, bring your hands to a block. You want to be comfortable at all times. So, you know, you want to challenge yourself, but you also want to not overdo it and, you know, make it so that it's something that you like. You know, if you don't like it, if it's a constant challenge and you're constantly like, I can't, oh, that hurts, I can't do that, then, you know, you'll never really enjoy it, and then you'll stop doing yoga. And I don't want that to happen. Okay, let's go ahead and roll onto that left side, bringing the left foot forward, sitting in Sukhasana. Just take 1 breath. And another exhale. And now let's go back into that cat and cow pose. Just do a little bit of release. Okay, inhale. You're going to drop your belly down, pull your chest up and forward. Exhale into your rounded back. Inhale. Looking forward. forward, exhale, your round back. And this time, let's go ahead and do a little stretch of our arms. So walk your hands forward and just sit back with your hips. You can rock from side to side, okay? And you can bend your elbows a little bit. So this is just waking up all the muscles in your shoulder and that run along the length of your rib cage. It's like a modified down dog. So for those of you who find down dog really difficult, you'll really enjoy this one. And then slowly come back to your tabletop position. Let's go ahead and sit in, if you can, let's sit in what we call Seiza. If this is difficult for you to sit like this, then you take your blocks and you just sit on your blocks, okay? And if this is difficult, then you can just get another block or a blanket to lift you up a little bit more. Or you can sit in a chair. And I'm going to show you how to do this next pose in a chair as well. But what we're going to do is bring the right arm up. And you're just going to shift a little bit over to the right so that the right bottom is pressing down. Take that right arm and pull it back. Okay, you can twist the arm a little bit so that the shoulder, inside the shoulder, gets a little bit of activity. And then as you're taking your bottom and pressing your bottom down to the ground, just bring that arm over your head. So there's a couple ways to do this, okay? Sometimes just this and moving the arm is enough. If you're really tight in this area, that's all you're probably going to want to do. If you can bend a little bit to the left and then bring your arm down and up and down and up. Okay, come back. For those of you who are not using the blocks, it's exactly the same thing. You're sitting on your bottom and you're dropping your bottom over to the right. You bring the right side up, you bring the arm back, twist around a little bit, and then you can either lengthen the spine and just bring the arm towards your head and away a couple times, or you can bend a little bit and then do the same thing. So it's the movement of the arm that really helps to accentuate this pose. It feels so good. So let's go ahead and do one more of those on the right. Okay, I'm going to bring a chair over, so I'll show you how to do it with the chair. With a chair, you actually want to sit sideways on the chair, and you're just going to do the same thing. So you're going to kind of let your bottom drop down a little bit, okay, and bring your right arm up. So everybody bring that right arm back. You can go ahead and twist it a little bit, okay, and dropping your right bottom down. You can start by just moving your arm. If that's not enough, you take your body, you kind of pull it over towards the side of the chair and move your arm around. Okay, maybe 4 times and relax. So let's go ahead and do the other side now. This is such a simple pose, but I don't know about you, but I feel if you compare your right and left side, this side over here feels so good. All right, so let's go ahead and try the other side, either on your blocks or just sitting on your legs or on your chair. So go ahead and drop your left side over, okay? Your bottom is not on the ground, all right? You're actually just kind of pressing your bottom down to the ground. The left leg is gonna, the left arm is gonna come up, pull it back just a little bit, and then twist around. Twist from the shoulder, right? Okay, let's go ahead and start by just moving that arm a little bit. If that's enough for you, then you just keep doing it this way. If you want, you can bend a little bit more and bring that arm close to your head. Relax. Inhale. And again, exhale to the side, inhale, the left arm comes up, the shoulder reaches back, the arm twists, and let's go ahead and do a couple of movements with the arm, up to the sky, and then over to your ear, and relax. And one more. Okay, dropping your bottom over to the left, bringing the left arm up. The shoulder is back and the twist is at the shoulder. And then go ahead and come into the fullest extension that you can. So what I mean by that is, this is the third time that we're doing this. So, if before you did it this way, maybe just try bending a little bit. Okay, and come back up. Go ahead and bring your legs forward. Okay, shake your feet, shake your legs. So far we have done a lot of work that will loosen things up. Let's go and do one more that was going to focus on the inside of the legs. And for this, you might need like a small towel or like a belt. And we're going to lay down on the ground. Okay, put your belt just on your belly. And first we're going to start with our legs hip width apart and the ankles just kind of under, or maybe a tiny bit in front of the knees, but if you can, it's mostly under the knees. Okay, let's go ahead and inhale and bring the pelvis up. So just a little bit is okay. You're going to be working your legs, your thighs, relaxing your shoulders. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your bottom down. Okay. Bring the right leg up. And let's just everybody go ahead and use a strap. And then as you exhale, lengthen that left leg. As you inhale, you're going to just kind of reach the heel up towards the sky. So for some people, you might already be feeling a stretch like this. If your leg is just like this, that's okay too, okay? As long as you're feeling your stretch in the back of the leg. And then on your next inhale, just bring that leg out to the side, just about 45 degrees or a little bit more than 45 degrees, okay? Don't put it on the ground, because if you do that, your hip is probably going to come up. Okay, and then we're just going to do like little circles. You can use your arm to help accentuate that circle. So what we're doing now is we're both working the muscles, but we're also lengthening the muscles. Okay, and then take the left hand, take your belt in your left hand, bring the right hand out, and just bring that left leg across the body. So we're going to be feeling it in here again. Don't bring it down to the ground, because we don't really want to roll over like that. That's a different pose. We just want to focus on here. Two more. Off to the left and back. Off to the left and back. So you should really be feeling it right in here. You might be feeling it on the inside of the leg as well, which is an indicator that you probably don't want to go past that point when it starts to hurt. So go ahead and bring that onto your belly again, the belt. Your feet are hip width apart. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. As you inhale, once again, press down and bring your bottom up. So be careful that your legs aren't kind of swaying out like this. Be careful that the inside of your feet aren't lifting. Okay, you actually want to press the entire foot into the ground, and your knees should once again be facing straight. Okay. Take your pelvis to the ground. All right, bring your left knee in and put the strap on the bottom of your left leg. This time, stretch the right leg. Okay, and as much as you can, just pull the left leg into towards your head, and then over to the side. Just about 45 degrees, or just a little bit more until you're feeling the stretch in the inner leg. Okay, and then go ahead and just make like a big circle using the belt to help you lift the leg. So this is mostly a focus on the inside of your joint, but you're also going to be feeling it in the muscles, especially the inner muscles. Okay, now take the belt with the right hand, bringing the left hand out to the side, and just bring that left leg over to the right about 4 times, just until you feel the stretch. At some point you'll want to do this. Don't let that happen. Keep your body tight and strong. Feels so good. All right, we're going to do 2 more of those. Okay, inhale and come into your, this is called bridge. Focus again on your knees, making sure that your legs are not relaxed and drawing out to the side, but facing forward. Drop your tailbone down. Put the strap or your blanket or towel or belt or whatever on the bottom of your foot. Stretch the left leg. And then once again, drop this leg off to the side. Okay? And now, what we're going to do is just see if you can point your toes down to the ground. And then back to neutral. And then down to the ground. And then neutral. So we're once again actually working inside the hip. Neutral. One more time. Down to the ground. And neutral. Let's bring it once again across the body. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing. So don't worry about bringing your leg down too far, okay? Just bring it across your body and twist so that the toes are trying to point down to the floor. You're going to feel it right in here. And now twist the toes so that they're pointing up to the ceiling. And then down to the floor, up to the ceiling. So we're basically just working inside the joint. One more time, you guys. Down and to the ceiling. Go ahead and relax that leg. Come back into bridge pose. One more time here. Inhale. And exhale. And bring your bottom down. Bring your belt or blanket or whatever to the bottom of the left foot. Straighten the knee. Bring that left leg out to the side. And then just bring the left toes so that they point to the ground, and then neutral. And then to the ground, and neutral. Even if you're just moving a tiny little bit, that's okay. If you feel it all around here and in your, one more time, and in your joint, you're doing the right thing for your body. Okay, let's do the other side. Just bring that leg across. The strap is now in your right hand. And so now this one's a little bit harder. So you're going to take those toes and point them down to the ground, and then twist them up towards the ceiling. And then to the ground, to the ceiling. If you can, keep that knee straight, to the ground, to the ceiling. And the last time, pointing the toes down, pointing the toes up, back to neutral. Let's go ahead and just drop the hips from side to side. The knees go to the right and to the left, and you might be feeling a lovely little stretch right in here between the rib cage and the pelvis. Okay, let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest, rock from side to side. Bring your knees and your head together, rock from side to side. Cross your ankles and either come to sitting, or if that's too difficult, just roll over to the side and sit. Okay, so that should give you a quick but very intense stretch of your hips and your legs, and it should make you feel really good. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you feel great. And you're welcome to take Shavasana, which is just laying flat down Okay, your legs are relaxed, your arms are relaxed, your head is relaxed. I don't ever do that because I'm afraid that I'll fall asleep and then this video will go on forever. So stay there as long as you like. Otherwise, come into your seated position. Any kind of seated position is fine. We're just going to take a minute to close our eyes and just kind of focus on all the areas that we just worked. Begin with your calves, which should feel much different than when we started out. And the backs of the legs. And the joints, the hip joints. Feel how the outside of your legs and the outside of your bum feels different. We did a little bit of work on the lower back. That should feel a little bit freer. And finally, we did just a little bit of stretching along the side and the shoulders. So enjoy that relaxation and that relief compared to when you started today.